I am vlogging here from Denmark, the western part of Jutland, where I live with my husband and our two youngest children. We have two older children who's moved away from home, and right at the moment we have a lot of things on our plate. So I just felt like sitting down, making a vlog about, life in general. And last time before Knitathon, I made an episode where I talked a lot about what knitting means to me. And I guess right now we are remodeling our kitchen. So right now we've moved the dishwasher and the oven to another part of the house, where we had like a... Sorry, I just had a cat. It's not our cat, but the children has been allowed to feed a cat, which, just, cats... people don't own cats. Cats own people, I think, sometimes. But this cat has decided that currently this is her home, and sometimes she gets too homey for my taste. We don't want the cat inside. There are places here at this... it's an old farm that we live in here in the countryside of Denmark. So we have like a place where the cat can be when it rains, and we have like... It has the opportunity to go inside and find somewhere nice and warm and cozy, but it's not inside the house. It's inside the former barn, you could say. I don't want a cat that's actually not really mine to be in my stuff. And I've been in homes of cat people, and that's just not for me. I think I have had a cat, but my cats were more well behaved, and yeah, having a pet comes with a lot of joys and a lot of responsibility. And right now, where we are in our life, we don't want a pet, but the children desperately want a pet. So this is you could say, this is an opportunity for them to have a pet, and for us not to be dependent on us feeding a cat. Because when we're not home, if we went skiing. I told you about going skiing, I think 3 and 4 episodes ago. And that week we didn't have anybody come around and feed the cat, because we knew that the cat can just go back to its owners and get fed. I'm sure that this cat still goes home regularly and eats the cat food that they provide for it. So this is a very well-nourished cat. But I don't want it inside. I don't want it in my yard. I don't want it in my car. I don't want it anywhere. It's allowed to be outside. We feed it, and that's just how it's going to be, because we don't want a cat right now. We've had a cat, it's been fine, but right now we don't want a pet. So if I could just make the children understand that we actually don't want a pet. But as I was saying, we're redecorating our kitchen, and which means that everything is kind of dusty, and when I come home from work, I have to, make my normal house chores, laundry, cooking, shopping and grocery shopping and all that, and when also needing for us to clean after the tradies, um, so that they don't have so we don't have to pay them to clean up after them. It's kind of a lot of money that we can save by doing some of this remodeling ourselves. So and we are still in the beginning of this process, and you never know how long it's going to take. And luckily, we are in the springtime here in Denmark, so I can sit outside and we can open all the doors and the windows and get all of this dust out that a remodeling, creates. So yeah, and yeah, I guess today my husband is not home. He's not coming home today because he's in Sweden working. So I'm alone with the two youngest children, and it's not a problem. Normally, this job he's only had for I think since August, and we are in April now. So, but he's always worked a lot. He's always worked so much that uh, driving the children and getting them to like uh, sports and getting a lot of the holidays. I've been alone with the children also, so this is normal for us that I am home alone with the children, and I don't mind because as I talked to a colleague today, and she said, well, being the only adult in charge, that's nice too, and definitely nobody asks you what we're going to see in in the evenings, and I don't have to do a lot of cooking because the children, they are not that they don't mind if it's something really simple. Hang on. Cat. The cat was just trying to climb into my car, and I do not want it inside my car. So yeah, it's bored, I guess. Yesterday the children sat outside. I think it might have been a bit warmer yesterday. They sat outside petting it and playing with the cat, and today they've disappeared to their rooms because I think they're both a bit tired today, and I'm also quite tired today, which is, why are you filming when you are tired? Because I felt like it. Yeah. And yeah. So that's what goes on in my life right now, and it's a good thing I have my coffee and I have my knitting, and life is generally good, you know. I'm doing the world's most simple blanket, and I have made a pattern for this blanket. It's called Banegårdspladsen. Right now I am considering translating my patterns into English. At work there is a lot of talk about what AI technology can do, and all of these very advanced techniques that, for instance, ChatGPT can do. And I just tried it today, and we had to try the program, and we had to try it with something that was easy. Like some of the others did like meal plans. Asked this. We use Copilot at work, which is the Microsoft-based AI technology, and some of the others did like meal plans. Make a meal plan with, you know, we tried to do like make a meal plan using the current uh, office that they have in this particularly supermarket chain, and it actually um, made a meal plan where it took some of, you know, this week's office and included it in the meal plan. And instead of doing like a meal plan, which would also be, you know, a good idea, I took one of my patterns in Danish, and I tried to take like a chunk of the text and put it into Copilot, and I was actually surprised at the result, because it was actually better than I had expected. Of course, I had to make it change some of like the you know, because I do like what to call them in English. Instead of, you know, writing yarn over, I in the patterns you often write yo, because it's easier, and the text doesn't have to be that long. It's a very big discussion how to write patterns, because some people prefer the shorter versions, and some prefer, you know, the text written all out, so you would write yarn over. Um, I prefer the shorter versions, because then the pattern doesn't get that long. There is this big discussion what a great pattern is, if it's an advantage to for a pattern to be on the shorter side, or if it's an advantage to, you know, like describe everything in the in detail. And I think, just like, you know, if you read books, you read a lot of books, you will often have like a favorite author. And if you look at like genres, and then like I've read a lot of crime stories, and I can definitely see that the style of writing between different crime writers is very, you know, they have like their own language. And I guess it's the same with knitting patterns, because the way I write a knitting pattern will never be the same as another pattern designer would. And I guess my patterns I like them on the shorter side. I like um, I've been recommended that there aren't too many pictures in these patterns, because if you have like I have I've worked with people who have ADHD a lot, and sometimes if you have this kind of what to call it, if you have ADHD or something like that, then having a lot of distractions in the pattern might, you know, make you insecure in what you're supposed to do, simply because you get distracted by pictures and drawings and, you know, neat little diddle things. So I have tried to make my patterns very graphically simple. I have tried to choose a font who is readable, and I've tried. I generally I prefer a text to be in smaller chunks, instead of, you know, like these massive amounts of hardcore text, because it's just easier to read when you have like this, you know, you can return to the text and then say I was about here. And if you have this large chunk of text, then returning to the exact point where you were when you got distracted might be a bigger challenge than if the text is in smaller chunks, or even if they are like um, first row, second row, and things like that. So I'm working on it, and I might be using AI as a support tool to translate my patterns into English. As we were told in the AI class I took today, they are getting better and better all the time. And I'm really impressed at what ChatGPT and other tools like Copilot can actually do today compared to what they could do when they were released back in 2022. Because I have watched primarily my oldest daughters, use them as a tool when they were doing like homework or writing essays and things like that. Then there is the whole cheating discussion about AI. So that's why I've been a bit hesitant to use AI as a help to translating the patterns, because it still feels a bit like cheating to me. But again, I have made all of my patterns free, but right now they are only in Danish. So of course there is a lot of people who can, you know, download these recipes for free, but if I took the time to sit down and translate them into English, even more people could use my patterns. And I've made the patterns for them to have their own life out in the world, not for me to make money off it. And yeah, so right now I might have been, you know, tempted a bit more to translate the patterns, especially the patterns that are a bit, you know, I have like a sock pattern, and the sock pattern is made for a very specific yarn, but the pattern itself is pretty basic. You know, you can find a pattern almost exactly the same as the one that I have made in other designers' names. So, but there are others of my recipes, no, patterns, who are more unique, if you ask me, and that is why I am actually thinking about translating them at all, because I actually think they are nice, and they are something that I haven't seen other people do. Because yeah, and I just want them to live a life out in the world and be happy and be able to knit my stuff. It's a bit vain, isn't it? Yeah, it is. But yeah, Oh, we have like these little bugs in the air right now, and I am seriously thinking about if I should take this coffee and knitting party inside so that they don't. They have a tendency to make like a kamikaze and die in my coffee. So, but yeah, I think that was all that I wanted to talk about today. This has been more a normal episode than the Knitathon episode, which I really hope that if you haven't seen the Knitathon episode, I think you should go back and watch it, because I spent quite a lot of time on making it, and it's, I think, 47 minutes long. But it's very easy to take in like chunks if the time you have is more like 25 or 30 minutes or something. But I I just felt like talking to you today, and it's been very nice, and now it's getting a bit cold. So I hope that you enjoyed a cup of coffee just like me, or something else that was nice. I hope that you enjoyed this vlog and will be returning to my channel. I hope that you will give this video a like or leave a comment, especially if there's something that you want me to talk about, maybe, or you have a question. And please subscribe to my channel so that you can get a reminder that I am still out and about in the land of YouTube. And then I hope that you will enjoy the rest of your day, and that I will see you next time. Happy knitting out there.